Hi everyone, this is Haven. Um, just want to give you a quick overview of my website, um, and then just like a few challenges and interesting tidbits. Um, but yeah, I ended up making a website that added more information about myself, that goes a little bit beyond what we had done in our introduction slides for the first week. My first web page is just the home page, just general information about me and my family, things I like, and then hobbies. That's kind of self-explanatory. Um, but yeah, and then third page is just stuff about traveling, and then more pictures of my cat Kumo. Um, but yeah, in terms of like some of the stuff that I had or like I guess like the process in general was pretty interesting because during module 3 and module 4 we were going through labs and then going through a little bit of exercises in terms of like understanding um like different elements of making a web page. um and I think that definitely helped in terms of creating my own personal website. Gave me like a good template to work off on. Um, I definitely referred back to it multiple times, just because just issues that would come up with me just creating different code lines of code and then having issues with things not working properly. Like for this particular web page, I would add pictures and then they would all kind of like line up in like very like restrictive, like rigid, like columns that wouldn't be very uniform, and it didn't look pleasing, like visually pleasing at all. A lot of the text would also fall like very vertically, and so I had to refer back and forth towards the lectures and then also the labs we did. So that was really helpful. I did make a few columns on this web page too. You can see like the color coded, or like it was actually three columns. Like these worked out pretty well. They're pretty flushed with each other. And then the third column, I don't know how to fix this, and I've looked at it a few times um, through trial and error, and I can't seem to fill out this empty space properly to flush it correctly. And then another thing I did notice is that I only ended up using one CSS file for all three pages. Um, so if I expand the web page, now everything is pretty consistent through this web page and then also the hobbies web page. This is a long web page, but like if you look down at the footer heading, like everything's pretty consistent. Nothing falls out of that space. And then the home page, there's the footer element where essentially it falls way out of its space, and I'm not really sure why. Um, I've tried looking at it a few times and comparing all the HTML files, and they're pretty consistent. The only thing I would probably surmise is that essentially I have to like find another way to contain these in its own maybe div tag. But yeah. Anyways, if you have any feedback or comments, uh, that would be really helpful. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my webpage. Thanks.